Hello class, my name is Ty Lamica, and the tool that I had the opportunity to look at is PRISM Break. This is a tool that was made to combat the NSA Global Surveillance Program, also known as PRISM, and we'll get into that right now. In order to understand what PRISM Break is and why it was created, you have to understand the Edward Snowden leaks that happened in 2013, roughly 5 years ago. So essentially, for those that you guys don't know, Edward Snowden was a government contractor. He worked for numerous agencies like the NSA, and he decided that he would leak all these classified documents to the public. So that's exactly what he did. Thousands of classified documents were disclosed to the public, mainly from the NSA, but also from other agencies. And this affected pretty much the entire world. Especially the United States, countries like Great Britain were greatly affected, Australia, and a lot of international agencies because of all these documents that were now handed out to countries like China and Russia, and that is no good. So one of the major leaks was this global surveillance program called PRISM, and this was the NSA's global surveillance program that would collect internet communications of millions of users, and this was kind of a wake-up call to a lot of Americans and people in other countries. So as you can see here, PRISM was a system that collected metadata from all these different companies, and if you look, starting in 2007 at this chart, it began with Microsoft and it went up to Yahoo and Google, and even in 2012, Apple was added to this list. So what PRISM was is NSA essentially went to these companies and said that they had to hand over certain charts and documents and data for certain people that they considered threats. So yeah, if you use Google, your information could be looked at by the NSA, Skype, I mean all these things. So people were uneasy about this, especially because these aren't just your little mom and pop companies. These are the biggest companies in the world as far as technology goes. So that was a little alarming to a lot of people. And you can see that the cost for PRISM is $20 million a year. That's a good amount of money. So PRISM Break, among the leaks, this person by the name of Peng Zong, that's not his real name, his or her real name. It's just a Twitter alias. I don't know if they know exactly who it is, but they decided to create this website, which would be an open source website for all these tools that would allow for more security. So instead of using Google, you would use a more secure email provider. And their whole mantra is to opt out of global data surveillance programs like PRISM, KeyScore, and Tempora. And so we'll get into that website real quick. And what's interesting is when all the leaks were out, the NSA chief, they really protected home to what they were doing. His quote here, "I think what we're doing to protect America's citizens here is the right thing." So you guys can look at that and take it however you want. I mean, it's 50-50. You either think that the Snowden leaks help the country or you hurt the country. So that's really up to you guys. So getting into the tool, it's really simple. You can just Google PRISM Break and it will bring you right to the website. So if we go home here, you can see their mantra right here, help make mass surveillance of entire populations uneconomical. And what's cool is you have your mobile devices, you have your computer, and your network. So your Android users, iOS, Apple, Mac, Windows, routers, and servers. So just real quick, let's go into iOS. And you can see for each iOS, Android, each of these different types of operating softwares, you have categories. Now, these categories, there's probably 20 here, and they're anything from VPNs to mail servers to email accounts, and these are tools that you can use instead of using the mainstream ones that are supposedly keep you more secure. So for example, your email accounts, it's going to tell you for each tool which companies to avoid. So you have your big box email holders, Gmail, Outlook, Yahoo. I've never heard of most of these, but I'm sure they're more secure than the former over here. So that's just email accounts. You even have your instant messaging, so it's kind of cool. Instead of using Snapchat, use Riot for all your collaboration. And yeah, I think that this is cool because it can pretty much help anyone who's concerned about the government looking into their information to use these tools. You have Bitcoin, which is totally anonymous versus PayPal, so your transactions can't get tracked. Like I said, you have these for your mobile computer network. The computer, you can see that the list is a little bit longer because you have more capabilities. So yeah, it's pretty simple. I think it's really important for forensic investigators and digital evidence examiners to understand these tools because if you have a smart criminal suspect, they're going to use these tools, these secure tools, more so than these general Google, your bigger companies because they are more secure, so they have to understand how to work around that. And I think professionals, they can use these to their benefit by using these tools. Maybe if they're in an undercover op and they want to use these tools so they can't be tracked by someone so they don't blow their cover. So I think it can help and I think it can hurt on these tools for forensic investigators. Yeah, so that's it. Thank you guys.